And the winner, gold medalist, in Masters Grandmaster Brewington Hardaway.
Bro, congratulations. What a performance, and you have won probably your first major international tournament.
Yeah, this is for sure the best performance I've had internationally, at least. So yeah, I'm very happy.
Okay, how was your experience coming to first Abu Dhabi, then Fujairah? If you want to share.
I was very excited to play since it's a very strong tournament. So I prepared a lot, and because I knew everyone here was very strong, so I knew it was gonna be a great opportunity, no matter what happens, just to learn a lot. So I'm very happy, especially since I also won Abu Dhabi Blitz. So I consider this trip very successful.
And from there, you carried on your form here. Wonderful. So, what is next for you?
So after this, I'm gonna go back to New York, and I guess school starts, and I'm not sure my next tournaments. I guess the U.S. Masters is a really strong one that's gonna come up, and then St. Louis Masters. So that's currently the plan. Maybe something will come up, but okay, for now, that's the plan.
Okay, you played some fantastic games in the tournament. Which game do you want to show first?
We can show my first decisive game. Round 1 does not count because I had a forfeit win, okay? And I drew round 2. So round 3 was against Aditya strong Indian international master. You know, all these Indians are very strong. So I decided to play this B5 move. It's good to fight for a win. And I played this once against Andy Woodward in the U.S. Junior Championship. The game ended up in a draw, but I had a nice position. So I thought might as well play it again. And okay, around here was the critical moment. So he played this bishop h3 move, which I didn't really consider. I mean, it's very creative. Obviously, the idea is knight takes f7, and then king f7, bishop b6, queen e6, knight g5, and I get forked. So I went knight d7, rook e1, queen d8, and I didn't expect him to do this, but he went for the sack. So we get this position, and keep in mind this was double around 10 a.m. So I mean, maybe he was just trying to play fast and put pressure on the clock, because I think I was down in time. And here I made a big error. I took f3. I kind of underestimated how much of a great position he had, because I mean, I could have just won knight f8, which I saw, but I thought it was a bit weird, because I have to walk my king to e8. Like, I saw this line, but I just thought, okay, this looks a bit weird. Like, my knight on f8, king on e8, big pinned by the rook and queen. I didn't know how to evaluate this, so I took f3, but he played this nice move c4. Eventually here, and white's just better, because I mean, my pieces are kind of tied down. When he gets a position like this, okay, he has 2 pawns, and he can always get the rook whenever he wants for the bishop. So, and it's not like I have like 2 bishops for the rook, it's 2 knights, which is not as great. So white's definitely better, but he played this d5, which I thought was really weird, because that just gives the pawn. I mean, if he just goes like bishop f4 or something, just keeps the pressure, I mean, white's just better, I think, objectively, because I would have to sack. But okay, I mean, my queen is misplaced. This bishop's also misplaced because he can go like c5, a3, trap my bishop on b4. So I didn't really like my position, but I think he just forgot I could take the pawn, because after I played this, he just had a facial reaction, and I realized that he just made a big mistake. And he kind of never recovered, and then eventually I consolidated something like this. So now I have 2 knights for the rook and pawn, but okay, now everything's in control, and it took a while, but eventually we get this, and then all the squares are weak, and eventually I won the game. So that was my first real win of the tournament, so that felt nice. So I guess we can go to round 4 now.
Yeah.
I'll let me do this. Yeah, against Aditya.
Yeah, Aditya.
Yeah. I know he's doing very well. He might get a grandmaster norm. So I played him in Abu Dhabi as well, and I won with black. So now I had white. So yeah, the opening I went knight c3, close to Sicilian. Decided to stick to what I've been playing recently, and okay, he kind of confused me with the move order, because he did this like queen c7 or rook b8, queen b8, and he did like delayed castling. But I thought this was just good for me. I mean, usually the idea for black is to like castle, put the knight on d7, stuff like that, and then white goes a5, knight a4, knight b6. But okay, we get something around this, bishop d4, castles, knight d5, Obviously, if you take with the pawn, I take, and then I'm attacking this bishop and this bishop at the same time. So he took with the bishop. This is a very common structure in the Najdorf. I kind of wasted some time with the bishop, so it's fine for black, but I like this rook a4 move because it's prophylaxis against something that you would never expect. So you may think, okay, I mean, anything's fine for black. Queen c7, g6. He goes e4. I mean, what could be wrong with e4? What could rook a4 do to stop e4? But I this move. And then, no matter what you do, g6, or what he did with d8, I take e4. Very, very common sacrifice. And basically, his position is just totally dominated. So we get to this, and the bishops just control every square. I'm just gonna push my pawns, take this one, and then, okay. I just loved this position. This is my favorite position of the tournament, because, I mean, look at this, like, everything's just completely stuck. And yeah, my piece was just dominating, like, I guess go c6, and okay, the game is over. So this was a fairly smooth win on the double round, so that was a good win. But the next one was really crucial for me, because I had to beat the tournament leader at the time. Well, okay, after this game, but I guess, should I show this game? Okay, might as well. I was thinking to show this one, but okay. This game was also interesting. I forgot about this game. Yeah, so I actually lost to Anuj in Abu Dhabi. That was my only loss, I guess, in Blitz and main event. He played d4 there. I mean, I know he plays everything, so I kind of expected he would switch it up, play e4. And I decided to play Fujairah Dragon, which I've never played before, but I want to fight for win. I guess he prepared for my game against Kushaga, where with knight c6, bishop b5. I guess that's what he was preparing. So I knew up to like here, b5 was the idea. Take, and okay, I think the best lines like take. I mean, one of the best lines like take, queen b5, and then knight e4, and it's double edged because I have the d and e pawns, you have the a and b pawns. It's double edged. So eventually he goes for a4 here, basically trading the b pawn for this a pawn, so he's gonna get a passed pawn. So if I can blockade that pawn and consolidate, then I'll be fine. Otherwise, white is doing well. And okay, so I think here I started like taking over the game because he expected knight d7, I think, but I played bishop h6. I want to keep this bishop on the board. And okay, bishop f1's can't explain that move exactly. The most natural move is b6, which is what he did. And then I have this move d5. And already here, I felt I was taking over the game because I mean the pawn looks nice, but I actually can't move because my rook and bishop are here, and you have nowhere way to attack my rook because my bishop's covering this diagonal. Like I can always go bishop f4, and the rook is just stuck here. So already here, I was optimistic, and then we were getting in some time pressure sooner than later, and bishop f4. Yeah, there's one funny line, like g3. Okay, this is a funny trap. So you may think bishop a2 is winning, but I saw us during the game, it actually loses to queen d8, rook d8, gf4, bishop b1, rook a8, queen d6, take, and bishop a7, and I have no checks. It's crazy. I saw this during the game, and I was like, oh wow. But he told me after the game he didn't see this line. So I mean, maybe I could have gone for it, okay. I just went back with the bishop, and I think his crucial error was around here. So he played bishop a6, giving me the pawn. Apparently the edges still thinks it's equal, but I mean, it's hard for white to make a move. I mean, I think rook 8 is the only move. He goes for queen c8, which is like one of the natural moves, like because your pawn's here. But I just go king g7. There's no threats. Rook a8, I must have like bishop b7. I think this is working. This does work. And then okay, you just lose your queen. So rook e1 was the final mistake because now I just I got this position, and then yeah, this diagonal is just busted, and okay, queen c3 was played, I think f6, and okay, his rook is stuck, and his bishop stuck defending this pawn, so he basically just down a rook and a bishop basically, and eventually the final combination was bishop c5. Okay, rook c7 is like apparently cleaner, but I thought this was easy. Queen f3, rook e7, take, king h6. I have to go queen e2, stop the mate. But then I have check, here, check. And The nice, most accurate way to finish it is to give this check, and then queen g2, and then king e1, queen g1, I win the rook. So that was a nice revenge game, I guess. Just a very strong player. So now, okay, I was 4.5 out of 5 against Sivuk, who was on perfect score. So this game was interesting because he plays everything, obviously, like he knows what he's doing. So I go c5. I was hoping for no accelerate dragon, get a fight, but okay, he went c3. And it's already very difficult here to decide what to do with black. You have so many options. You can go g6, you can go e6, you can knight f6, knight c6. I decided to be solid, d5. And it's exchange Slav, which you may think, okay, it's just draw. But okay, he wanted to play. Position was pretty boring for most of the game. And we got king h7 here. So white's trying to make progress, but okay, this is like kind of the max that he could get. So he decides to go for it with queen d6. Mainly because my time situation, see I'm down 20 minutes. So he thought this was a good try. Maybe during the game he thought he was winning, but it's not winning, I don't think. So rook c7. I think what he missed was d4. Very important move, d4. The most natural move, queen d6, is just not good because I just take f7 and then I double my rooks, and then white is better. d4 is very important because now rook f7, I have queen a5 check, or bishop c6. Those both are good. And then you have to go b4, queen a3, and black is doing well. So bishop c6 after d7. He allows this. He goes for the sack, and basically his point is it's like another game where white has like a pawn d7 on the 7th rank, and maybe he thought he had a way to just get this pawn through, but the problem is you need to get the bishop to a square that can defend this pawn, and then bring your rook to a8 to attack my queen. But that just wasn't possible. So I'm queen a5. This is forced. Take. Queen d5. Bishop c4. Important not to go queen d1 because bishop d3 check, and he promotes. Queen d6 only move. Take a6. Now the next step was to bring the king around to stop the pawn so my queen could be free. So I walked my king to f6, a4, e5. And here I was still thinking like it's probably gonna be a draw because yes, I do have the queen, but his pawn is so powerful that it should just be equal. Yeah, this was a mistake, bishop c2. You need the bishop here to defend the pawn when you go to a6. Unfortunately, I went queen d4 check, gave him another chance, but luckily he didn't see it. He went king e2. That was my one mistake of the game. And now king e7, a5, queen e5, king d2, and then c5, very important. If you go b5 or bc, you have queen d5 check, winning the rook. So he tries to block. I give this check, and then back to d4, and then c4, and then c3, and then a queen d2 is a threat now, so he tries to block it again. But then I have queen e5, and the nice finish is queen d5, bishop e4, queen b7, and the pawn gets through. So a6, queen, queen, a7, queen a3, and that was the game. So this was very important for me because he was leading the tournament at the time.
And then you became the sole leader.
Yeah, this is when I became sole leader. Then I played this game against Karthik, which we already saw.
Yes.
I'll just show it briefly again. Just briefly. Just the one moment, it was Sveshnikov, and okay. The one chance I had was after d5. I analyzed this, it's like knight c3. This is the best chance. d4, knight a4, and then b6. I think this engine says it's 0.8, but okay, on higher def I think it's like, okay, 0.4, 0.5, okay, why is good chances, but okay. I probably should have went for this, but based off the turn situation, it wasn't a bad decision to just take and then make the draw. Not the most exciting game, but okay, there was still some interesting moments. But yesterday's game was the key one against Jimmy Jubin because we were tied for first and I had black pieces. I knew he was an ambitious player, so I knew it would be a fight. So, I mean, it's like so many Indians I've played, they're all super ambitious and stuff, stuff to play against them. So this was my surprise. I mean, it's theory, obviously, but I guess he saw my games. I mainly went c6. I mainly went c6 in my games. So I guess this is a little bit surprise for him. But I didn't think about rook d1. I only looked at c d5, like briefly, because he played many different lines within d4. There's players like that where they only play one move, like one d4, one e4, but they play many systems within it, so it's hard to prepare. So I took queen a5, knight b3, queen c7, bishop g3 was what he did, queen c6. Now here I think he can force a draw if he wanted, like knight d4 I think. I would have just gone queen c5 back. I would have just repeated. But I knew he was ambitious, and he played this a3 move, which is interesting. I didn't consider this move at all. The point is that now, knight d4, queen c5, he has b4. And there's no bishop b4 check in the future. So it was a clever move. Okay, so I took. The point is you have knight a5, obviously, with the fork. Knight c4. And here, okay, b6 is slightly inaccurate. I mean, I was considering playing a5 and knight d5, but okay, b6. I just want to get my bishop out. So, I mean, I thought knight d6 was his best move. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do here. I guess it says knight h5, get rid of this bishop, it makes sense, but this move's also strong, queen a4. And I think e5 was important, but he told me after the game he considered this, rook d7. And I saw this, but I only thought about b5, rook e7, takes rook b7, white has 3 pieces, and from my general knowledge, I thought 3 pieces is better than the queen. Apparently it's zeros, but okay, it's very complicated. Very complicated. So I go e5. Queen b5, I saw this. I decided to go for take knight e4. If obviously knight e5, there's knight g3. And black has no problems. So he took with the bishop. Knight e5, bishop f6. Knight c4. Bishop 6, so he's up a pawn, but my bishops are super active, my knight's active, his king is stuck here, my rooks are coming in, so I thought I can't be worse. Knight d4. Rook fc8. So briefly I considered knight d6, but I think there's bishop f1, knight c8, bishop g2, rook g1, bishop h3, this knight's stuck, yet to f3. And then I saw knight g5, and then okay, knight moves, rook bishop d4, rook d4, knight f3. It's about even. So he wanted to keep his extra pawn. He was greedy. So we get this, we trade, and you may think, okay, it's just draw. I mean, obviously I can go rook e and just like force a draw. But I saw knight d6. I thought this was interesting because he has him down a pawn, but my rooks are coming to c2, and he has to be accurate to defend this. He goes knight f3, which I already thought was inaccurate because I have rook e8 now, knight c4 check. King c3, rook c8, king b3, rook e2, rook b1, knight a5. b5 was playing better, which I did consider, but I thought this was the most natural plan to go rook c2. d5, knight c4. Obviously, at knight d4, you have rook b2. So I saw during the game, he should just repeat it here. After king b3, I think I have to make a draw. So, but he went rook c1, which gives me chances because then I have b5. Because okay, it's important you don't take b2, because king a1, you may then go b5 and then rook c4. Lose the game. So you have to go b5 here, and there's no rush because these pawns are always be hanging. He goes king a1, saying the same trap. I can't take. But I just take this pawn. And the crucial moment was here, I think. So already I'm starting to take over the game, but I think this was his last mistake, rook c5, because obviously he was hoping I take d5 and then rook d5. Rook d5, knight e7. That's what he's hoping for. But I think he just forgot to take g2. And yes, your pawn's on d5, you have the knight and rook supporting it, but this pawn just runs. This pawn's just gonna run. That pawn's just storming down the board. So, knight e7, king h7, another board move, because king f8, knight f5, I think. King h7, knight c8. And then okay, so rook d2. And I'm just gonna try to grab those pawns. Start pushing my own as well. b3. Here I just repeat the game some time. And then knight e5. rook c5, and then I have this nice move knight f7, getting rid of this pawn. And then, even though they say all rook endgames are drawn, I don't think this one is drawn, because I mean, black's up way too much tempo, and yeah, my pawn just stormed down the board, and okay, eventually he resigned because my pawn's just way too far advanced. And then the last game was a quick draw, because okay, wins the tournament, so yeah, that was my tournament basically.
Right. Some beautiful games played here, and Bro, you are now probably inching your way towards one of the strongest juniors in the world. Who do you think as your most close competitors from the world of juniors in the world?
Well, I guess in the U.S. it's like Mishra and Andy. They're obviously the two strongest. So that's the competition in the U.S. But of course, there's many strong players in this generation. So yeah, there's a lot of competition. Can't really name just one person.
Right. And what, as you mentioned that you want to play more games outside, what is your ambition as a chess player?
Well, of course, I want to just be the best player I can be, and hopefully, do it as a profession. And yeah, I don't have a set goal to become like world champion. Okay, that's what everyone wants, but okay, that's very far from now. So you can't really say that's the goal, because okay, you need some smaller goals on the way. Like okay, 2600 next year would be nice, and then 27. But okay, time will tell how things go.
Right. And about your personal career, like you are, as you mentioned, you go to school. Educational wise, you also want to do something?
Chess is mainly what I want to do, but okay, you have to be flexible. So if things don't go well, then okay, you always have a second path. So it's good to have two options for sure.
Do you have a favorite subject in school?
I like math. Math's always been my favorite thing. Like naturally, I've always just enjoyed it. It's kind of like chess. Like it's sometimes you just feel that you have a good feeling for the game, and I feel that's how I feel for math. So yeah, I think that's my favorite subject.
Right. And do you think also chess helps you in your studies to become a better student?
Yeah, for sure, because it requires a lot of discipline and patience and effort and resilience. There's a lot of tough times in chess, so you always need to be resilient. Okay, it's in school, if you have a bad test or bad grade and some homework, you can't just let that affect you. You just need to keep going, and every day is a new day. So yeah, I think chess definitely helps, because it really takes a lot of mental strength to succeed.
Right, and you are from the United States, and chess might not be the most popular game that teenagers play. So when you tell your friends that you are a chess player, do they find you cool?
Some do, some don't. I don't really mind, because everyone has their own preferences. I mean, I don't really care what others think. I mean, you just gotta do what you enjoy. You can't let other people affect your life. It's your life. You should do what you want to do. So I don't really mind what they say.
Absolutely. And who in your career do you find most inspiring? Who has inspired you the most? Your family, friends, coaches? Who is that one person or more than one person you want to mention who has inspired you to play and come at this stage?
I mean, it can't not just one person, but there's so many people. All of the coaches I've had along the way have all given me great advice, and also my parents have been really supportive. So yeah, just everyone that's supported me along the journey, family, friends, coaches, everyone, even school teachers, also giving me time to play tournaments. Everyone has been a part of my journey, so I'm thankful for everyone.
Wow, beautiful. Congratulations once again, bro, for winning this huge, massive tournament, and all the very best for the next events.
Thank you so much.